AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Right, 7 minutes after 9 o'clock. It's the Christmas Eve edition of In the Garden with Carol Ann. If you're watching the streaming video, you see not only Carol Ann in her Christmas, is that a sweater?
Christmas shirt. Christmas t-shirt.
But you also see Santa Claus and a Christmas tree and a poinsettia. So,
there we go.
So now I put, just if I turn your microphone on, then we can hear you.
That's right. Then
Merry Christmas.
Then it all works.
How
Merry
are you?
Christmas. I'm well. You?
Good. It feels good to do a show on Christmas Eve,
Yes,
right?
it is. And actually, I have done them before because some of my memories on Facebook.
Do you work today? Do you have to go?
No, I'm off.
Oh, good.
I'm off. Yeah, I'm off for 3 days.
Is Lowe's open today?
They are open till 6.
Till 6.
Like
okay.
every place, they're closing early. Closing early.
Yeah,
Let's just give a chance to get out and go home.
Yeah. And before we
family.
end the show,
right.
I mean, end the beginning, I guess.
Right. We'll mention it, just because we've got gift certificates to Bob Wines that we can give away throughout the morning. But you've got to be able to come and get them before 11:30. Otherwise, you're waiting till what? Thursday.
Yeah.
And we have a poinsettia that does need to leave by 11:30. So.
Yeah, so that's up for grabs. First one who claims it gets it.
First caller who claims it and says they can be here before 11:30 can take it home with them.
That's the only.
And it's it's the pink and white one here in the picture.
Yeah. I didn't know what color to call that.
It's pink. It's the pink and white. It's the variegated. It's a nice
variegated.
Variegated.
I like that
two different
word.
colors. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's nice. All right.
It is.
So the offer is out there. If you want one, you just need to. If you want it, there's only one.
Right.
You need to call Carol Ann as soon as. Because the first person who gets it.
Who claims it. If you're out shopping, if you're heading out the door right now, coming by the mall to get some of that last minute before they close at 5, I believe you said.
They close at 5, right?
They close at 5. Are they open already?
Yes, they opened at 8
Okay, because I was
this morning.
going to say, there was quite a few cars out there.
I know.
They got my parking place, and it was misty and rainy.
Oh, no.
It's like, ew, it's yucky.
You know what's weird? I get the first spot in the morning.
Right.
So when I leave in the evening, and when it's crowded, as soon as they see me get in my car, they're waiting.
Oh, they're waiting. Yeah.
They're waiting to get that
I'm surprised
spot.
there's not a fight over that spot.
I think there is sometimes. Not with me.
You get one coming this way, one coming this way.
I leave them in the dust, Carolyn.
It's like, I don't even want to watch.
I do.
It's the holiday spirit. Come on, stop.
Don't even look.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of holiday spirit, can I tell you something?
Sure.
We went to Gaylord Palms to see ice, right?
Yeah. How was that?
It was beautiful. It's expensive.
Is it? Okay.
It's like $24 just to park.
Wow.
$30 a person just to see it. I know. It's high end, but at the same time, it really is beautiful.
You're right.
And it was so super popular and so super crowded. Now, the reason I'm bringing it up is not to tell you any of that, but to tell you the people were so well behaved. Sometimes you'll hear a mom or a dad just say, stop fighting. But they were singing Christmas carols. They were drinking hot chocolate, $12 a cup.
Wow.
Holy mackerel. Yeah, but they weren't. Nobody was complaining.
No. Well, you're going there for that experience.
Everybody was so nice.
Whole thing. And that's I've heard that term, the experience of instead of gifts for the family this year and things like that, people are giving experiences
I like that.
So they're giving that trip. I think you mentioned that they do gift cards now for airlines.
I saw
and
one for
things
Delta.
Like that.
Yeah,
and I've seen those as well. But that gift giving, instead of just the gift certificate or the socks and the necktie, the sweater, things like that. I mean, sometimes it's things you can use, or it's the toys that are all broken by New Year's Day, if not Christmas Day. Of giving the family an experience. One is Merry Christmas outside. That those kind of things are now becoming more popular, I think, as family gifts.
I like that idea.
And I know in years past people have done we bought the family the game system. Or we bought the family, the new phones kind of things. Where it's a large gift and then anything else is much smaller. And I think people now are doing some of those, it'll be the trip. Here it is, holiday break. The kids are out of school for until after the first of the year. That maybe they're going up into the mountains. That here in Florida, that maybe the kids have never seen snow, or they're going to maybe visit a family member out of state to make things a little less expensive. But that they're going to take in a sporting event or other activities that
would be
are
nice.
those kind of things. I had some coworkers that were posting that they traveled out of state here for Christmas, and that I think they went to a hockey game and a football game already in 2 days. So it's one of those events, experiences kind of.
And those stay with you. You may not remember the gift you got 4 years ago.
You might not even remember the flight because it might have been, just a nice smooth flight.
Right.
But you remember that when you got there, that Uncle so-and-so greeted you, and that you had the tickets to the ball game and things like that. So it's
absolutely. And to stay on topic with what you talk about, I still have the peace lily that I got from Robin's son when my brother died.
Right. Well, good.
Now, so this is December.
Right.
It was back in May. And I guess my point is that every time I water it, I think of both of them.
Right.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's a good thing, right?
It is, and that's I think why people do the peace lilies. It's one of those. I guess it got its name to give someone peace. During those times, because a lot of times you do find them as gift plants, and that they're easy to care for.
But see, same thing with that, what's it called?
Oh, yeah, the pepperonia. Yeah, that was a gift from Kenny's place.
Kenny's place.
Oh, my Lord, what? Over 15 years ago.
Yeah, and the young man who brought it in was a professional wrestler, I think.
Okay.
Or something like that. And he brought a rooster with him.
Okay.
So, I mean, all those things, it's funny how a plant...
Little things.
I look at that plant, I remember those things.
Right. And that's why a lot of times people will plant a tree in memory of a loved one and things like that.
That is really a good idea.
We got a caller?
You do.
Fantastic.
Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Anybody planning a quickie trip, go up to Asheville, North Carolina, and take in the Biltmore Estate.
Yes, that's another.
They always have a fine Christmas display.
Yes,
really?
Yes, that's one of the big destination kind of areas for the holidays.
And I wish everybody a good morning.
Good morning and Merry Christmas.
So what's up there? What is the
Biltmore Estate?
Yeah.
Well, it's they decorate just a wonderful holiday.
It's a mansion.
It's a mansion. Yeah, the estate of the Biltmore family. And so, I understand that that's a fantastic display, and everything around there too. Just the whole Asheville area is a nice, nice area to visit.
And it's on what Robin is biting at the bit to do.
It sounds like she's ready to go to Jersey. Go visit the grandbaby.
Yeah.
She's got grandbaby withdrawals kind of thing. So mine is 12 now, so it's like, okay, I'm gonna see him. It's like cool, but it's like, okay, it's grandma.
How many?
Yeah.
How many children?
Just one daughter, one grandson. So it's all good.
Hey, the phone lines are open. If you want to call in, Carolyn is live on Christmas Eve day. So in case you were wondering if this was pre-recorded,
it's not memorized.
It could be. It depends on when you're listening to it. But if you're listening
later.
right now on December 24th at 9:15 a.m., then you're listening live. And if you're out of the area and you're actually on the YouTube video or something, 352 is the area code.
Right.
So 352-622-9622.
That's right. you can give us a holler. Yeah, we just do this on this one. We can talk plans. We can talk, your holiday plans that you get for Christmas, or you give us gifts of course. Being it was just a few days before Christmas, today's Tuesday. What days did I work? When Christmas is in the middle of the week, it throws me off.
It's
totally.
the whole week. It becomes a holiday.
It's like, what is it? Monday?
Next week too. Next week is New Year's.
It's like on Saturday I was thinking it was Monday, and
1 week from today we're talking about the end of the year, right?
Oh, I know.
So it's a whole 2-week vacation for everybody.
Yeah. Well, for some, but
I mean, mentally.
Yeah, mentally, it just throws you off completely. Throws you off completely. But had people coming in looking for amaryllis because it's like, and it's probably the family member or somebody says, just go get them an amaryllis. You can do that. They're gone. They've been gone, if not by Thanksgiving week. It's gone by December the 1st. Of course, this year, Thanksgiving week did end with December the 1st. But those kind of gifts just don't last through the holidays, so don't be looking for those. Many of the stores still have plenty of poinsettias, which make a nice hostess gift or something like that you can bring, and they're going to last. I mean, I've heard a lot of different anecdotal stories over the last couple of weeks going, oh yeah, I've still got one in the ground from 4 years ago, and it's gorgeous, kind of thing. My neighbor has one a few blocks from me that's probably about 10 feet tall and a good 6 to 8 feet across.
Wow.
And if they pruned it more during the growing season, it would be more impactful, but it's still very nice on that. Is that here you go. You've got poinsettias growing right there beside the house. And I'm sure all they did was stick the thing in the ground 1 year after Christmas. I suggest waiting till middle of March, but and they'll keep. Yeah.
I have a question. I don't even know how to ask this question because I don't know all the facts about it. I just looked it up, but I'm just going to go for this. So I went to lunch with Robin and two ladies that are actually my third cousins.
Okay.
They don't live too far from here, but I don't see them very often. I see them on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So I said, next time you're in Ocala, let me know. We'll go have lunch. So we did. Okay? Long story short, they're from Germany.
Wow.
And their favorite plant is the Edelweiss. And I only know that as a song.
I'm not even...
Okay, so you don't either. I didn't even know what it was.
Do we know how to spell it?
I do know how to spell it.
Okay.
It's EDEL WEISS. I just looked it up. But I don't have a picture of it. EDEL WEISS. I know the song Edelweiss, but that's their favorite flower this time of year, whatever.
Story. Let's see. We bring it up.
What does it look like? So anyway, that I thought to myself, I got to make a mental note of that word.
Kind of interesting.
And ask you about it. So is it possible?
Mystical and mythical. I mean, it's a white flower.
Okay.
It's kind of cool looking. I have to read the...
Let me see.
Let's see if I can bring one up.
It just looks like a flower. It doesn't look any special. It's a white flower.
My dad. I always forget this is not touchscreen.
You must have a touchscreen though.
You have my phone. Everybody's phones are touch screens.
So,
but it's kind of a neat looking flower, actually.
But if I saw that in somebody's yard, I wouldn't think anything of it.
Right.
Well, anyway, that was their favorite flower.
Cool.
Just one of those weird things that came up in conversation.
Right.
That applies to this.
Where we have the poinsettia usually, or narcissus, or the amaryllis as flowering gifts, the Christmas cactus. And it's funny because I've heard several people say, the cactus that you find in the stores are all Thanksgiving cactuses. That's why they're blooming. My Christmas cactus, because there's Easter cactus and things like that. My Christmas cactus, which is in full bud, has not opened to bloom yet, are from pieces, or the plants that I have bought from the stores. So they just force them into an earlier bud in order to sell them. They will then be Christmas cactus next year.
So, and Robbins is doing the same thing.
Yeah, mine is
got buds, but no
bud. Yeah, full bud. It should be opening in a couple of days. I think I might bring it in the house where it's a little bit warmer, even though the house isn't brighter.
So wouldn't that be interesting if it opened tomorrow? I mean,
Or have one or
it's
two at least
amazing
open. Yeah,
that a Christmas
that it would-
cactus
yeah.
blooms on Christmas.
Well, it blooms during this time of year, and that's based on day length.
Oh,
The short days, the long nights. And,
so the shortest day is now behind
was the
us.
20 right was the
Okay.
21st. And if anybody's paying attention, we have the what is it? My prognostication.
Oh, the
it is
storms.
now,
yeah.
it's right now. If we have thunder, we can begin to count.
I saw your post. Yeah. I saw
Yeah,
your
because
post.
it was because we had that thunderstorm, and I go,
Yeah.
okay, folks, don't jump to anything
winter
yet.
yet.
It's not winter yet. We at least have to get to winter, so it's one of those funs. I was trying to find the story on that. There's a little short one here. The Edelweiss, which is let's see, Leontopodium alpinium.
Oh no.
Is the
One of those
flower
words.
most commonly associated with the Alps, thanks to the memorable song from Sound of Music. That's what you know. As the story goes, high in the Alps lived the hauntingly beautiful queen with the heart of pure ice. The queen's melodious singing lured many forlorn shepherds to her cave.
Yeah, that's what would happen to
That's
me
it.
if I was one of those guys.
But that's
I would have gone to the Queen's Cave. I would have told the sheep. I would have said, "Wait here. I'll be back.
I'll be back. Yeah.
I don't need you tagging along.
Get out of the way.
Don't be following me like sheep. Come on."
But so there's something a little different.
Huh.
But yeah, and as I told Larry before we went on the air, all those pages that I used to have, all the thing on the Christmas candy canes and that stuff, I lost those. But I think I found another.
Oh, you found something else?
Another new one, so we
Well,
can
you have a
play on
phone
those.
call.
Great.
Good morning. You're on there with Carol Ann.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Many years ago, my grandmother had a plant called a night blooming ceres, spelled Ceres.
Yeah.
And it was a rare enough thing that the newspaper would come out, and there's several pictures of
There's a lot of
my
those.
grandmother in the Boston Globe family section,
Oh, wow.
standing next to her night blooming ceres.
Yeah. And those are actually very common now because it's most of your cactus. Those are just it's just to catch it blooming. You have to be up in the middle of the night.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Yeah, the flower
it blooms,
only lasts.
late at night.
And it only lasts that 7 or 8 hour period. And so it is. Yeah, I'm sure it was at that time, especially if it was up north, to have one that bloomed.
Yeah, it was in Massachusetts.
Yeah. So interesting.
Yeah. All right. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you. You
Thank
too.
you, Jim.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different ones. Yeah, those night blooming ceres now are fairly common around. When my parents had moved from Ocala down to Palmetto and into the mobile home park, when my mom comes around the corner to that one they were buying, and she sees this huge cactus, and oh my God, she goes, it's ugly. God, it's just horrible looking. And the neighbor says, no, wait till it blooms.
Ah.
And it did, and she left it. So, it might have been just kind of, just a cactus. And so the first time I came to visit, she says, well, when you turn the corner, we got the first ugly cactus on the right. And that's us. But when it's blooming, it was pretty.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Because she had
I
sent
can believe
pictures
that.
after it
The
bloomed.
banana tree is kind of that way. When it gets cold, it's the ugliest plant in the yard.
Yeah, but they're so interesting and
Yeah.
very tropical.
They're very
when
tropical when it's
they're-
healthy
Right,
looking,
from the spring through early fall when
Yeah.
they're at their best.
Yeah, I love it. It's an amazing plant.
It is. And right now it's, I've even was seeing some people who were having very late flowers on their bananas, and I thought,
Oh, really?
oh boy, that's not gonna. That's not gonna bode well for when our temperatures decide to drop. I hope their bananas, form and fill out before it does, so they don't lose that tree that went ahead and produced fruit before it got cold. If it, because as we know, the bananas make one stalk of bananas, and that's it.
I only know that from you.
Yep, yeah.
There's no way I would have known that.
No, you would have realized that tree died off, maybe. But if you've got a nice little cluster of them, it's that you don't notice because another one replaces it.
That's it. There's always some bananas on there, so it seems like it's another.
If you're not someone who goes and clears out the extra trees or anything like that, you don't notice when you've lost that one.
Isn't that crazy?
And, so it's not a big. Not a big loss if you leave them.
So the banana farmer, they must be putting new ones in all the time.
Oh well, there's pups that come up
all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
How come the bananas in the store are so much longer?
It's the
whatever?
cultivar. It's the particular cultivar.
Cultivar?
Yeah.
What is that?
The one. It's the variety.
But could we
banana.
grow a Chiquita banana in Ocala?
Possibly not. Only for the sake that's probably a little more of a tropical banana. I mean, it maybe, but we usually grow the smaller, sometimes the little lady fingers, or what do they call the other ones?
Little ones
There's some that they actually even call ice cream. That I guess they have that flavor, just make you think you're having a vanilla ice cream with a hint of banana to it. And,
really?
That there's different
Mine
varieties,
tastes
but
like
they're much
bananas.
smaller. Yours just tasted
A little bit of effort to get them ripe, though.
Well, it was, but we wanted to ripen all of them. And,
Yeah.
So.
All right, phone lines are open. The show you're listening to, if you're listening at 9:26 on December 24th, 2019, then you're listening to a live show. We'd love to have you on the show by way of your phone. The number is 352-622-9622. Carol Ann has, from Bob Wine's Community Gardens, a poinsettia that she's giving away.
That we're giving away.
There's two rules. Number one, you have to want it.
You got to want it and you got to call. So there's two. There's two rules.
Oh, the third rule is
you got to pick it up before 11:30 this morning.
Because guess who's leaving?
That's Robin and Giant are taking the day off.
We're leaving.
they're going home.
So if you want it, you have to call in, and we'll just give it to whoever asks for it first.
Right. Whoever can. Yeah. I mean, so if you call in to wish us happy holiday, fine and dandy. If you say, hey, listen, I'd love to have that poinsettia, just sure, fine. Just make
it's
it
not
here,
red. Will that ever become red?
No,
that's always going to be that color.
That's the variety. Is the.
So I would say
it should not revert because it's bred to be
pink in the middle.
It's a pink and white. What's considered white, even though it's like an off-white, creamy yellow.
Very light yellow, yeah.
But with the light pink in the middle.
It's real pretty, though.
It is.
And it looks very healthy.
It is. It is very healthy looking.
There you go.
And so you can enjoy it. It'll hold that color because this is just a modified leaf.
I know. Isn't that strange?
And the flower, this isn't even, I don't think, in bloom.
The flower's a little tiny thing, right?
Little teeny weeny thing in the middle there, and these aren't even hardly in bloom. So it'll hold that color for months.
Let's see if you have somebody who wants it.
Great.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, I've got I've got some plants in my backyard that I grew from watermelon seeds.
Okay.
And should they be flowering now?
No. Watermelon's a summer crop. There's a good chance that, first good hard frost, those watermelon plants will be gone.
What about squash?
Same thing. Yeah,
Cantaloupe.
they're not. Yeah, cantaloupe. Yeah, they're all summer. They're all summer crops. So there's a good.
So should I plant them in like April or February? Or what?
Usually you would start seed probably in about February to where you could set them out in the middle to the end of March. Our last expected frost date is the 15th of March, so we don't want to put out anything like little tender plants. So if you're going to just put seed in the ground, I would wait till at least the 15th of March, 15th to the 30th. If you have little plants, I would be putting them out at that time. But right now, the watermelons and cantaloupe and things like that, if we have a good freeze or frost in another couple of weeks, which we usually will in January or February, it's just going to kill those back.
cucumbers and zucchini and
same kind of thing.
same thing.
Yep, those are all summer crops.
What about sweet corn?
Same kind of thing. None of those like below 32-degree temperatures. Now, if you had broccoli or cauliflower, cabbage, those are all winter crops for us. Kale, the lettuces, carrots, those are all things that'll grow through the winter.
What do we consider winter around here?
From November through 1st of March. Because it's cooler, you're not, usually if you were going to get a fall, what they call a fall crop in, you would put it in by the first part of September so that you could harvest usually by December. And then after that, it would have to be strictly some of those hardier, not really flowering type vegetables, which all of those are. Your cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, all your greens, your lettuces, turnips, beets. If you notice, none of those things we're growing to produce a fruit off of a flower.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's sort of another way to figure it.
What time should I put the corn in the ground?
About the middle of March.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good.
You too.
Have a good
Thank you.
Christmas.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Yep.
Hey, good call. That's the kind of call we love.
Yeah.
We're taking a break.
Taking a quick break? All
I
right.
noticed some people were calling during that gentleman's call. So if you want to call, we'll take the first caller, and that person will get the poinsettia that Caroline just described.
Yep.
The only thing I'm asking is that you come pick it up before 11:30, because Rob and I are going to get out of here as soon as it comes around 11:30.
Right.
All right.
Yep.
All right. 622-9622. Give everybody a chance. I'll answer the phone, and the first one is the lucky one. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. Police in Orlando say a woman was killed when a stolen car crashed and flipped onto the car she was in. Hillsborough County Sheriff's deputies were searching for a suspect who they believe exploded an ATM in an unsuccessful effort to steal money in Tampa. A South Florida neighborhood has been plagued with a toxic and smelly odor for almost 2 weeks due to 3 back-to-back sewer main breaks in a neighborhood in Fort Lauderdale. Flash flooding and heavy rains have delayed dozens of flights and disrupted some services at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. South Florida television station WSVN has captured video of a person kayaking through the grounds of the Gulfstream Park racing track and casino in Hallandale Beach. No horses were injured. The small oceanside town of Surfside in South Florida has created a resilience fund that will be used to help residents adopt to climate change in a first-of-its-kind effort. And Wild Florida has opened its new drive-through safari park in Osceola County. And that is your news brief from The Source.
Today, sun and some clouds, high 67 to 69. Tonight, partly cloudy with a shower and spots arriving late inland, low 56 to 63. Then for Christmas Day tomorrow, partial sunshine with a breezy afternoon, showered a few spots near the coast, high 74 to 78. And at night, it will be partly cloudy and mild with a low around 65. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Hi, I'm Brian, and I'm a comfort keeper. I spend a few hours each week caring for seniors in their homes to lend a hand or just be there when they need me.
Being a comfort keeper is a rewarding and fulfilling career. Comfort keepers provide non-medical in-home care and companionship for seniors on a full or part-time basis.
Call 855-592-0013 to learn how to apply to the Comfort Keepers team.
Do something good for your career and for others. Be a comfort keeper. Comfort Keepers offices are independently owned and operated.
AccuSleep offers a safe and effective medical option for those who suffer from sleep disorders of all kinds. AccuSleep makes restoring healthy sleep patterns possible. No medication, no surgery, just good sound sleep. Mend your sleep so you can stop counting sheep. Experience restorative sleep at AccuSleep, the acupuncture sleep clinic in Ocala by calling 352-615-5566.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
Let's go. It's the most beautiful time of the year. Lights fill the streets, spreading so much cheer. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mist.
All right, 24 minutes before 10 o'clock. Justin Bieber, our bumper music right now.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, thank you. Martin got the plants, so
Yes.
thank you, everybody, for calling in. And
Merry
we
Christmas to him.
only have one to
Yeah.
give away, so
Yeah, that's it.
it's always
So-
good. We had actually 3 or 4. I can't remember how many we had,
Right.
and they went also.
Oh,
so.
sure.
And Bob Wine's is open today until what does the ad say? Till 2 or
Should
so?
Probably.
It's on the ad.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Oh, excuse me. So if you're going to get over there quick, and wish them Merry Christmas as well.
And you have another phone call.
Great.
Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Oh, yes. Good morning. How are you?
Real good.
Good. I have a question.
Okay.
I'm trying to do a privacy fence.
Okay.
Hedge.
Okay.
Privacy hedge. And I've been looking at some hollies. Mm-hmm. Do you have any suggestions? Something that's maybe good, get up to about 6 feet tall, and I can keep it maintained.
But you're wanting holly, or that doesn't really.
Well, that's what I've seen so far, but it doesn't necessarily have to be holly.
Oh, okay. Because I say the Brutford holly would make a good hedge, and if you have pets or maybe a neighbor does, they generally aren't going to want to put their face in there because they are a little bit pokey or a little rigid on that. You've also got your oh wow. I always get my brain's going to go. My ligustrum, the viburnums will go, because if you have, is it for sun or for shade? Is it mostly in the sun?
Both. Yeah, full sun.
Full sun? Okay, yeah. The sweet viburnum makes a good hedge. It's fairly fast growing. There's some of the other evergreens that, those probably are getting a little too high on the... some of the cypress and things like that are probably going to be too big for you. But the Brutford holly, wow, why is my brain doing that? I'm on Christmas mode or something like that.
That's what it is.
the viburnum, the ligustrum, and things like that are also really good for our area for hedges. That'll do for sun.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Which is the one that smells real bad? I've been by some hedges, and they smells like a dead animal in there.
Maybe there is
that the ligustrum?
No, viburnum, the leaves, no, I think it's probably the viburnum because those are, to me, that's how if somebody brings me a leaf, and sometimes I can't just, because that's what they'll bring me is one leaf, and to trigger my brain to get the right one, I'll break it and smell it, and the viburnum, the leaf has a scent.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think of it as smelling like like something dead. But some people might find it offensive. Same thing. Some people find salvia, the fragrance of salvia, to be offensive. But I think it smells good. So I might be weird like that. But if you're looking for something maybe not quite as high, the Indian hawthorn would be more like about a 4 foot. I guess you might get it up 5'5" if you let it go. I just hate to see it, get too high. Proper pruning is some of the best, the hardest thing to do is to make sure that you don't start to lose the bottom over the years when we try to prune them flat and square into a hedge, is that you can't prune just flat. You need to angle the part that's facing the sun, with it being large at the bottom and more narrow at the top. If that makes sense.
Okay, facing the sun. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. And then the dwarf Buford, that would be a good choice?
To go about 6 feet, that should get up about 6. Without being carried away. And that makes a nice hedge because it stays evergreen, it stays fairly thick, and doesn't grow crazy, outrageous, where you have things poking out left and right where you're constantly having to prune.
Okay, and any suggestion of where I could buy some of those? I probably need like 20 or a little bit more.
You could possibly find them at Baldwin's or at most of the home improvement stores, garden centers, because they're all open year-round. If they don't have that kind of quantity in stock, a lot of times they'll get them in, but like someplace like Baldwin's or another independent, they too may have to say, hey, listen, I got 10 of them now. I got some more coming in 2 days. I'll hold them for you. It depends on how much stock anybody's got in hand right now. But they're fairly
Okay.
common, so they should be something that would be on the tables right now.
Okay, and drought resistant maybe a little bit, and bug free.
Once they're established, pretty well drought resistant. Most shrubs are. That once they've been in the ground a couple years, you don't really need supplemental irrigation unless it's a true drought. Pest issues, again, can be controlled by proper watering and proper pruning, usually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. You helped me out a whole lot.
Well, I'm glad I could be of assistance.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're
you all
welcome.
have a Merry Christmas.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Phone lines are open. The number is 622-9622 if you want to call in. I see a few people trying to call in. So just what happens is there is no second line, so you have to wait till the previous caller is done talking, and then we'll get right to it.
And the mall is quite a busy place here this morning. That might be part of it, is I got that distraction of people walking by.
That happens.
And that you see, and it's like, okay, it throws your brain off. And
right.
on Christmas mode. And
yeah. Have you ever, do you go shopping on the like today? Will you go shopping for gifts today?
I need to stop.
You're still not done.
Well, I could be, but I might go look for just, one or two little things.
Do you have a stocking for anybody?
Oh, yeah, we have stock. Everybody has stockings.
What do you put in your stocking?
It's usually the little small things, the candies, nuts, fruits, little trinkets. Used to, do sometimes an ornament. You find a special ornament for somebody or something like that, and those kind of things go in there.
That's probably what I have to do today. I didn't get a stocking this year for anybody, so I should maybe get one for my son.
Yeah.
Even though he's 33.
That's all right.
That's
all right. That's it. That's it. And sometimes, you know what? I know people who do. Again, we were talking about experiences that sometimes once your children are adults, of just doing the stocking and finding some of those goofy things that they liked as little kids. Oh
gosh, yes.
Some of those candies that they're not going to go out and buy themselves Necco wafers or something like that. But when you're at the stores and you're at the store and you find them, it's like, oh my God, that is so and so. I need to get a package of that.
Oh, you made me just think of something.
Or you find lifesavers and they won't buy the wild cherry lifesavers or something for themselves.
You just made me think. My son loved, when he was little, Vienna sausages and squeezed cheese.
There you go. Oh, there you go.
I'm doing that today.
And a package of saltine crackers. He'll be happy.
Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Hey, good morning. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I just wanted the general question: do you or do you not water Christmas cactus in bloom?
Very, very little. You don't fertilize them, but while they're in bloom, hopefully you had them well watered. To where you're just putting, depending on the size, maybe a few spoonfuls of water, just so that they don't begin to wilt. You don't.
Yeah, 'cause I remember some people used to tell me that you watered and it caused the blooms to come off prematurely.
If you fertilize them, then the blooms will come off. So once it hits like that October time, fertilize in September. Don't fertilize it again, because then it will try to force new growth on them. But mine are still getting, because mine's still sitting outside. It's still getting. It got rained on yesterday, and the buds are doing just fine. They're hanging on.
Okay.
Haven't opened yet, but they're hanging on.
Yeah. How late are you all open till at the Camellia Farm today?
Bob Wines.
What did we say? 2. We're looking up, I think, 1 or 2 o'clock.
Just so you know, we don't actually work there, but I do have an ad. You know what? You want to take a break?
Okay.
A 1-minute break? Just
1 minute break,
ad?
and we'll get the ad going.
Because I want to make sure we know the answer to that question.
Correct, yeah.
All right, if you hang on and just...
Okay, I'll hear you all on the radio. Merry Christmas, everybody.
All righty, thank you. Merry Christmas.
All right, so let me play that ad, because that's our go-to place, and so this is kind of unusual. The ad becomes part of the show.
Right.
Oh, I see why I can't see it. I'm in the Christmas songs category. Okay, all right, here we go. I have so many Christmas songs in here. All right, here we go. This should be the ad from Bob Wines. Here we go.
Folks, the camellias at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala are absolutely bursting in bloom like they never have been before. The fall and winter early weather have been just right for the unbelievable Camellia Show, and maybe just a bit earlier this year. Time for you to bring your family, your friends, your guests from out of town, and come see the annual Camellia Show Spectacular. I'm talking 5+ acres, hundreds of trees of all sizes, some are 65 years old, and thousands of blooms in more colors than you can imagine. Many rare and exotic specimens, too. It's free, and you don't have to buy a thing. It's going on right now in all its glory at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens on Southeast 38th Street, daily till 4, Saturdays till 3, but closing Christmas Eve at 2, Christmas Day, and the day after that. By all means, do not miss the Camellia Show Spectacular now at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala.
There you go. So 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock and close Christmas Day and the 26th.
Right.
So.
And what he said, just you can go there just to look.
And just to look, just to walk through the the Camellia Gardens. And we have had a very mild winter so far, fall. So we've been lucky. So they're opening up nicely. Probably, like you said, maybe some of them a little earlier.
It's a good gift, though.
Oh, yeah.
I really think so.
Yeah.
Ready for another call?
Sure.
Good morning. You're on the Earth, Carol Ann.
Oh, good morning. I'm the Buford Holly guy again.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, well, I forgot to ask you.
Sure.
About how far apart would you plant those?
Probably about 4 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to plant them right up on each other, and you could even space them out maybe a little bit further, but if you're looking for a nice dense hedge, 4 feet would probably get you filled in nicely rather quickly without them being overcrowded.
Okay, and then I have a fence up there, a wire fence where the air can blow through.
Okay.
Maybe about 3 feet back from that?
Yes, that'd be about right.
3 and 4.
Yep,
Okay.
3 and 4. All righty.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Merry Christmas again.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Very good.
Yeah. Yes, and that's actually an important thing to keep in mind when you're planting. Just that if you're putting something up near the house, near the fence, whatever, you have to step away from that. You can't plant that just a foot away. Going, I want to dig that hole right. I want it right up by the house. Well, then you can't get behind the house to paint. Or wash it, pressure wash it, or the fence.
Or to put the Christmas lights up.
Or to put the Christmas lights. You can't get the ladder over top of it because it's in there. And then the plant it's flat on that. It's going to lose its. It's going to be more espaliated, which I probably just butchered that word, than a nice shrub. So step out. The 3 to 4 feet off of the fence, the house, wherever you're planting it, and then make sure you get your spacing in between so that they're not overcrowded. I've had people go when I show them a tag and it says space 6 to 8 feet, and they're going, but I want to put them 3 feet apart. Going, yes, it will fill in very quickly doing that, but 5 years down the line, you might just start to lose a few of those because they're too close together. And, the ones on the end are going to be much more vigorous growing and might even choke the one next to it out and that kind of thing. So make sure when you're putting them in, you space them properly.
It's so fun having you here on Christmas Eve. I know you've done it in the past, but
it's always fun to come in.
We talk to publicists all the time, and they typically say, "No, we're not going to do Christmas Eve."
Right, because they're all doing their things either with family or parties with some of their writers even. But hey, we're local. We can do our stuff.
So going back to something you told one of the callers is that the winter season starts November and ends in March.
Right.
Even though this is Florida.
Right.
That to me is interesting.
It's wintertime just the same here as it is everywhere else.
That's interesting.
Our temperatures are just different. That we're not as cold. But just the same as everywhere else, the days are shorter. The nights are longer.
So that's a big part of it.
The temperatures are different. The rain, the moisture is different. Our summer months is the rainy season, usually from June through at least August, if not till September. Rains begin to slack off in September, October. Hurricane season ends the end of November, so that's the end of the tropical season. At least storm-wise, usually. So it's that November, and it does start to cool. I mean, November 15th is our first expected frost date, and if I recall right, even this year we had some chilly weather there between the 12th and the 17th or so. So it was, we had some cool weather, and our last expected frost date is the 15th of March. I mean, who knows? They may try to jog that around a little bit, but to me, I would leave it right there with my mental thought of I'm not planting my spring crops out in the garden until the 15th, at least, of March. Now, I've talked to some people who says they won't do it until after the full moon of March, which sometimes maybe or after that spring, that Easter full moon that you're getting ready for in March, the first full moon after that's not the equinox.
The spring equinox, right?
Not an equinox.
No?
It's
winter,
right, winter and summer is equinox. It's the solstice.
There you go.
The spring solstice, that full moon, and that's where you're getting, your timing for Easter, that they'll go with that full moon after that, because they said, we've had frosts as late as early April. Not often, but it can happen. But normally our last frost is expected by the middle of March. So that's where our timing runs in between there. So if you think about it, between the middle of November to the middle of March is wintertime for us, the same as everywhere else, or fall/winter, whatever you want to call it.
Carol Ann Baldwin is here. The show is called In the Garden with Carol Ann, for those who don't know. And Carol Ann does this every Tuesday. It's a volunteer thing for her. She gets no compensation from the radio station except for the joy of doing the show with me.
That's it.
And your calls are an important part of it. So if you have a question for Carol Ann, she's a master gardener. I'm just trying to talk to the people who are new. Maybe you're a snowbird, just came into the area. Carol Ann, and when you go back home, you can still pay attention to the show. We always podcast this on YouTube, and we do a live streaming thing as we're doing right now. So
and on the Facebook accompaniment type page.
Yes.
Is there as well?
I don't think it's live on that, though.
No, it's not live on that, but you can, it gets, Robin posts the link to it, but you can ask a question if you're at, you're out of state, or, you work during this program. Usually you're not home, maybe.
Right.
You just happen to be off for the holiday, that you have a question at any other time, or one pops up over the weekend, and you go, you know what, I'm not going to remember this. Let me throw that question with, here's a photo of it, and we can get it answered. If I don't answer it first, somebody else might. We have very knowledgeable listeners as well as
absolutely.
Listeners and callers and that. So it's a good thing.
No, it was the original Google, except only on-air people had access to it.
Right.
I could ask anything, and somebody would answer it.
But it's what do you call that? It's not even the Google. I forget there was a phrase for live radio, live local radio was I forget it. It'll probably come to me about 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and I'll go, that's the word. And I'll not write it down.
So what is your Christmas?
Well, I know self-correcting is also, or will be on part of that too sometimes.
So what is your Christmas morning looking like these days? What will it look like tomorrow?
Quiet, because my daughter and grandson won't come down till either later that day.
So
or
you
the
just have a
next day.
relaxing morning.
Oh yeah. I'm just gonna get up and have breakfast, have some cocoa, watch, I don't know, put on some Christmas music or Christmas movies, and just let it roll through.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, just kind of chilling out. And
what's your favorite Christmas beverage?
Oh, I love eggnog, but I can only drink so much
Me
of it.
too. Same with me.
I can only drink a couple cups, and it starts to make my tummy feel funny.
Do you like the alcoholic version
yeah,
of it?
alcohol, yeah. And actually, I have some great 100 proof Southern Comfort to put in it, so it tastes really good. That's even better. But I have and it's like, do I need to get another carton? And I might better, because if I want to share, there might not be enough left in there. So I might have to stop by Publix, get another carton of eggnog.
Oh, so you add your own?
Oh yeah,
I
just.
So the one they sell in the liquor store, that's already made.
I haven't had the one I saw in the store, but when I was down visiting family the other week, my niece had some. Of course, we don't have a Costco up here.
Right.
They have Costco, which is Kirkland Brands is their brand. And she said, this stuff is the best. And it was very good. And when you read the label, I mean, it had rum, I think it had brandy, it had bourbon whiskey, a good bourbon whiskey. So it was a nice blend of alcohols in with it, and it was like, ooh, this is good. Because I think we went through, and it was like, what was it? Eggnog. Where did eggnog come from? And actually, the nog is from the name of the glass. Where's my eggnog?
That's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Because the cup would been a noggin. But you bump your noggin when you drink too much eggnog. But, who would drink this, thing? What was it? Hard to imagine anyone would be inspired to chug a raw egg-based drink.
Yeah.
It called Posset, a milky drink made with eggs, milk, and sometimes figs or sherry. Those were all very expensive ingredients back in the day.
Okay.
But when it came to the United States, it came with them, came with the colonists and such from England. They found a way to make it cheaper, mixing the figs and substituting rum for sherry. And so, that's why we put rum, we put whiskey, we put whatever. But the weird nog name, nobody's, for sure, but noggin, which was the slang for wooden cup, or a play on the Norfolk variety of beer, also called nog, which may have been named after the cup it came in, it was served in. So, we have the eggnog, so need some wooden cups. Maybe find some. That would be kind of cool.
Right.
To have some wooden cups for,
I guess.
And you can buy them nowadays. People turn some nice wooden.
Yeah, I guess so.
You can buy anything nowadays. Yeah. So.
Hey, we're almost out of time. Carolyn, thank you so much for doing this always, and especially on a day like today. It just made it special, and you didn't pop your Santa Claus, and you didn't make him dance.
Oh, I thought I did once.
Oh, did you?
There he goes. When I first got
there. There he goes.
There he's dancing. Yeah. He's rocking around the Christmas tree there.
Thank you again for doing this.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Everybody have a very Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, and we will see you on New Year's Eve.
And for those who don't know, Carolyn has a Facebook page also for the show.
Right.
So you can keep up with Carolyn on that Facebook
and look
page.
For In the Garden.
In the Garden, and you can post pictures of your own.
That's right.
And you can become a member. It's a closed group, but you just have to say, "Can I join?" And Carolyn will say yes.
Yep.
As soon as you start to sell socks or sunglasses, she'll
that'll be it.
kick you off. Thank you, Carolyn. Be careful.
You.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too. Watch out on the roads; they're wet.
Yeah, we'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
That's too strong, this is my favorite holiday. But all this year's been a busy blur. Don't think I have the energy to write to my already bad brush. Just 'cause it's 'tis the season. The perfect gift for me would be completions and connections that from last year. Ski, shopping, counter.
Direct Connect to UCF, where students who attend the College of Central Florida and graduate with an AA or articulated AS degree are guaranteed admission to the University of Central Florida. Success coaches are ready and waiting to assist you in designing an educational plan that is right for you in any of their locations across Central Florida. Remember, connecting is easy and guaranteed. Find out more at directconnecttoucf.com.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News, I'm Eben Brown. The House of Representatives could be looking to further impeach President Trump, even though they've not sent two approved